The first thing we're going to talk about is method of loci, plural of location, also known as memory palaces, which some of you may be familiar with from watching Sherlock Holmes. And that is where we take images and we put them into a location that we already know, like our childhood home, one of the classrooms here at OVC, our public school, our high school, any place that you've ever been in your life that you have in your mind, because it turns out that remembering strings of letters is crummy, and we're not really great at doing that. Obviously, we got in here, so we're pretty good at it, but there's better ways of doing it. And one of those is to tap into something very primal, which is that we evolved to memorize what things look like in specific locations. And that helped us because we would remember as hunter-gatherers that over the crest of the hill with the gnarled tree is a lion. We better not go over there. And so our brain encodes the fact that there's the crest of the hill, there's the gnarled tree, and then on the other side, there's danger in the form of a lion. And we avoid going there. This method comes to us from the ancients. It was first written about by one of Socrates' acolytes. And Socrates said, apparently, that why would I write anything down when I know it all already? This is easy to do when we have stuff like a grocery list. It's harder when we have scientific information that we're trying to remember. And sometimes we'll have to sound out a difficult word. Like for my boards for ClinPath, I had to remember this term tyrinosomes. And these are pigmented cells that can become cancerous in certain types of aquatic animals, in fish. So tyrinosomes, there's a silent P, so I had a pterodactyl for the silent P, and then I had a soup tureen, and my symbol for the letter O is a shamrock, like O'Connell, O, Flaherty, whatever. And so tureen, O, Soames, and I didn't know what I could do for Soames, so I put Soames Island. I Googled and found something named Soames and put that in there. So I can still see the island in my mind. And as an example of how easy it is to do, though, with grocery lists and things like that, we'll start with our location is going to be the front doors of OVC. I'm pointing over there because that's where it is in relation to me right now. And we are going to memorize a grocery list, and we're going to put items all the way down to the Delta Hotel. So the first thing on the list is strawberry yogurt. And the second thing on the list is onions. The third thing on the list is carrots. The fourth thing on the list is chocolate cake. And the fifth thing on the list is a dozen eggs. So we will start by making things really large or funny, or even smelling them if it's onions and our eyes water. And we put a giant tub of yogurt, and it's falling down, strawberry yogurt, and it's falling down the front stairs of OVC, and it lands on top of Dr. Hewson's head. And that's because you all know Dr. Hewson, and that would be a terrible thing to have happen, but it's kind of funny at the same time, so it helps us remember. And Dr. Hewson is also like the Swedish chef chopping a bunch of onions, and she's crying at the same time. So she got strawberry yogurt streaming down her head, crying tears, and all these onions chopped up crazy around her. And then we walk down the road towards the crosswalk that you'll all remember, or most of you will remember anyway. And we have giant bunches of carrots. Like, we are terrified. These are giant, and they're walking across the street like this, marching across the street, going to main campus. So we have carrots. And then the next thing on the list was chocolate cake. And we walk down towards the Delta, and we look over, and the griffin is eating chocolate cake. And the griffin is like, and chocolate cake everywhere. And it's like so messy, like a volcano of chocolate cake all over the griffin. And then we look over at the Delta Hotel, and there's a giant chicken up there and laying a bunch of eggs. So they could be pretty colored eggs, like we have from oldie-timey types of chicken. So a bunch of pretty colored eggs, and that's our grocery list. So I think it's pretty easy to remember that sort of thing. But in my upcoming videos, I will help you get onto making pictures for different things you're going to have to learn in physiology and stuff like that.